Hi guys, I'm continuing the beginner series. This is the episode 2 and I'm gonna talk about shorting individual stocks. Actually about never directly short individual stocks. So many beginners don't realize that you can actually make money when the market goes down. Okay, so and actually this is the good news. The bad news is when they hear about it and they start shorting stocks directly and they're losing their shorts. I know many examples and I'm gonna present you a few of them. So by shorting a stock or selling short means you bet against that stock performance. Okay, so it's Apple, say, it's you think it's something bad news will come, the iPhone 6 or 7 or whatever comes is doesn't impress the market anymore and you bet against it. Okay, if the stock goes down, then you're gonna make money. If it goes up, however, you lose money. Okay, it's exactly the opposite of going long. I mean, the traditional what you know by buying a stock here and you expect to move up. Okay, however, there are some major differences and you need to be very aware because it's very important. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's go back. Okay, so how can I explain shorting? It's a little bit weird. First, you sell the stock, then you buy it back. Okay, imagine it's hard to grasp this concept. So imagine you're borrowing actually stock from your broker. Okay, so say you're borrowing 100 shares of Apple. Okay, and let's say it's like I don't know 97 per share. So you need to put down $9,700. Okay, so let's say in 6 months from now, Apple goes down to 80, as you predicted. Okay, this is good. What you need now is to cover the short. By covering means buying back from the open market the same amount of shares, 100 shares of Apple, and giving them back to your broker. Since you put down first, you sold actually the shares at 9,700, and now you bought them back at 8,000, you're making a profit of 1,700. Okay, so why this the broker do this? He doesn't care if you if you make money or you lose money with this. He lent you 100 shares of Apple. He wants exactly 100 shares back. Okay, it's up to you what you're doing, losing or he makes money anyway because he gets money from the transaction fees. Okay. Okay, now let's consider the other scenario. The stock moves after 117. Okay, if you want to cover the short, you need to buy from the market again 100 shares of Apple, but now you need to use 11,700. Okay, so you're losing 2,000 in the process. Not only that, okay, but you need to get more money. Let's say all your money was like 10,000. Now you need to scratch your pocket to find another 2,000. Okay, you may want maybe to say, okay, when I bought a stock, went a little bit down, I waited, went up again, and so it's not a problem. Well, it is a problem with shorting a stock. Okay, because you shorting a stock in something which is called a margin account. Okay, so you most likely, if you get lost, if you lose like I don't know 5-10%. I'm not sure exactly. I never short directly a stock, and you get a call from your broker and say, "Hey, look, you lost this money. You lost my money because okay," and he say you need to put some money back. So in this case, please add another maybe 1,000. Not exactly 2,000. Maybe say at least 1,000. Put add more in order to keep your position open. If you say I don't have the money, or if you don't want to add more money, then you'll force you to cover your shorts. Okay, so you'll go in the market. It's your problem. How do you find another 2,000? Okay, and you give the shares back to him. Okay, it's not only that. That's one situation when you're losing. Okay, when you're losing. But if let's say you're losing a little bit less than the percentage allowed by your margin account, or even if you have a little bit of profit, you can get a call any day from your broker, and he said, okay, I want my shares back. Okay, why is that? because the broker actually is not his, he doesn't even have those shares. He took it from another client of his without even his consent. He doesn't need even to inform the guy, look, I get some shares from you and I lend it to somebody else, okay? So if that guy wanted to sell his shares, okay, nobody can force him and say, hey, you cannot sell it because actually I don't have it anymore, I lent it to somebody else, okay? So probably, I don't even know how this works. Probably the broker goes on the market and buy 100 shares of Apple, gives to this guy back, and then now he has 100 shares, okay, and that's why he asks you to buy those shares back, because he doesn't want to take any risk, okay? So broker is just in a win-win situation. They make money either way from the transaction fees, okay? So I think I hope you understand what I'm saying right now. Now, okay, you lost some money, you got a margin call from your broker. That's okay. You either you had a little bit of loss, okay? That's not a big problem. Let's talk about even a worse scenario, and that's why I make this video, okay? So let's say the company whose share is shorted was bought by a bigger company, a merger, okay, or something, or a merger, or something like that, you know, and the price jumped 100% overnight, okay, or a big name like Buffett or Icahn or Oprah, whatever, you know, they bought millions of shares in one company. Everybody's flocking there, say these guys know what they're doing, so probably they had a reason why they bought, and the price jumped up suddenly 100%, even more than 100%. What can you do now, okay? Since the jump was overnight, your broker didn't have the chance to call you, you know, and say, hey, look, you're already over the allowed limit, okay? There is nothing he can do at that moment, okay? You next day, you're gonna get a call from him, you know, but will be a different problem. And I'm gonna give you two examples, you know, to understand better. So I don't know if you heard, Oprah bought like 50 million shares of Weight Watcher stock, okay? Let me show you actually I think I have it in here. Okay, so WTW, the Weight Watchers, so we're talking about here, okay? So it's a crappy stock. If you look, let's have a look back, okay? Let's go on a weekly. It was going down, okay? The people who shorted actually, they were right to short, you know, it was a crappy stock, okay? But Oprah decided to buy this stock, okay? So let's say these people here at 7, the price was 7, okay? And let's say exactly that day you decided to short this, 1,000 shares, okay? You put down 7,039 hundred down, and you shorted 1,000 shares, okay? Look what happened when the news hit the market. The price jumped to 12 initially, went a little bit down, was as high as 15 before settling for 14, okay? So that's a disaster, okay? Now you definitely get a call from your broker. This is more than 100% increase, okay? So now you need in order to buy this, you need $14,000. You need $14,000 to do this. I mean, that's a problem, you know. So you definitely get a call from him, okay? Why? Because this can go even higher, you know. So if you, for example, you don't have the money, or you can go bankrupt, whatever, it actually you have an obligation to the broker, but the broker has an obligation to the other party with the transaction when you shorted the stock, okay? So he need to fulfill it. He wants to cover his back, okay? So probably either way, probably I hope it was in the morning, you know, when I was here on 1,200, okay, 12,000. Even that was really bad, okay? So you had either, I mean, he's not forcing you actually to close the position, but I say, please add another 7,000 if you want to keep it open. You know, why? Look, it's even worse later, okay? It went to 19, okay? Move a little bit down, and then another jump to 20. eventually went as high as 28. Okay, now it's again 12, but it's still a disaster. These guys are still losing money. They don't have it. They covered the shorts. Okay, probably they covered. So this is a really dangerous situation. Okay, you can afford to. You can lose more than you put down. Okay, so that's. I'm gonna give you. Let me give you another example, even worse than this. Okay, give me a second. Okay, so it was another case. Maybe you heard about. Was a guy, a beginner, who shorted KBO. It was a biotech company. Okay, which was doing really bad. I cannot show you the stock right now because it's delisted. Okay, but it was around $2. It was around the $2. Okay, so it was another was a big speculator who bought a few millions of these shares, and the stock went from 2 to 18 overnight. Okay, and this guy, okay, he had like 40,000. He had like 40,000 dollars, and I think he bought like 20. He shorted like 20,000 shares. Okay, something like that. Okay, so now he went to the 18. You can imagine he now owned this guy. The broker $720,000 to cover his short. Okay, this is a complete disaster. He was completely bankrupt. He wanted to go to his wife and his pension fund, whatever, sell whatever he had. This is a disaster. You shouldn't take the risk. Actually, nobody should take the risk. But if you're a beginner, please do yourself a favor. Don't short directly a stock. Okay, I'm gonna show you how to short if you okay. So once again, there is no limit how much you can lose. Okay. So now shorting via options. Okay, these are I'm not recommending actually the options for the beginner either. They're absolutely dangerous. You can lose like 40% overnight. That's nothing. It happens all the time. Okay, so you need to be very careful. However, if you want to short a stock or an ETF, please do it via options. That's much safer. And why I'm saying that, if you put 10,000 or 5,000, you shorting via options, you cannot lose more than 5,000. Okay, that's it. It's not like this. He put 40,000 and now he has to pay 700,000. This will never happen with puts. So there are two type of options. Calls, they're called calls if you think the stock will go up, or puts if the stock goes down. Okay. So let's go. So that's one thing. There is a small problem. If you want to do this for an individual stock, not all stocks have options. Okay, so you cannot short it, or there are so few people transactioning these options that it's the spread between the bid and ask is too much. For example, if the bid, the people who wanted to buy the option is $5 and ask is it's 8 or 7, that's a huge difference, and you're not gonna do it. Okay, so but don't worry, if you want to short something, you can find plenty of ETFs. You can find a lot of other. You can short the market by itself. Okay, you don't need to go to individual stocks. Not necessarily go there. Okay, so let me show you another way of shorting without options. It's a little bit safer. Okay, it's shorting via inverse ETFs. You cannot short individual stock with this, indeed, but you can short the market. You can short Dow, you can short S&P 500, you can short Nasdaq, or you can short different sectors. You can short finances, energy, drugs, gold, silver, you name it. Okay, let's talk about how this inverse ETFs work. Okay, so first, be aware that the majority of these are 2x or 3x, and I'm gonna give you an example how does work. So let's say you heard probably of SPY. Okay, this is the ETF for S&P 500. Let me go back to the okay. So SPY. So SPY, what SPY does, okay, weekly. What SPY does, it's mirror the S&P 500. So if I show you now S&P 500, will have exactly the same shape. For example, today, SPY, the ETF went down 1.82%. Let's go to SPX, and it should be pretty close. Okay. Come on. It's exactly 1.8. Sometimes it could be a little bit of difference, like 1.7, 1.5. Doesn't matter. So this is the SPY. You cannot trade S&P 500 like that, okay? But you can use SPY. You can use SPY, and of course, only if it goes up. If it goes down, okay, there are those options that I called you before. Okay, you can directly short SPY, which I don't recommend because only the sky is the limit how much you can lose. You can use an option, buy a put, it's called. That's another way, and you can actually buy an inverse ETF. As far as I'm aware, there is no 1x inverse ETF. There are 2x's and 3x. So for example, for SPY, today went down 1.82. Okay, if I want to short this, I need to go for SDS. This goes up, but look, it's twice. It's 3.6 went up. Okay, so you can short this as much as you want. SDS, and I think it's at this moment it's probably the bear market. It's starting here probably. You can buy this. It's like any other stock. It goes a little bit more than the index ETF, you know, so it's double, but it's much safer than shorting SPY or going with options. Okay, so this is an inverse ETF. This is for ProShares Ultra Short S&P 500. If you want to short Nasdaq, this is a quid. Okay. Again, it's a 2x. If you want, but there are also 3x's, which I don't really recommend it. You know, they're especially the Direxion ones made by Direxion. I don't really like it. I'll show you. For example, financial, very popular. FAZ. Okay, this went up 7% today. Okay, big, but look how much money lost actually meantime. So. Since 2013 in here, but you don't want to know how much loss from 2009. But anyway, this is these are speculative bets with 3x, especially, you know, because they can go up 7%, they can down again 7% or even more. So it's up to you. But this is a way to short the market. You can lose your shirt with this as well. Okay, that's not a problem, but it's safer than directly shorting XLF, for example, which is the 1x financial. Okay, this is the 1x financial. Okay, if people who shorted, I mean, there are professionals who shorted, but you don't need to do it. There is another way. As I say, you buy FAZ, and you can actually make a lot of money this way. So I'm gonna stop here. I hope you got the point. I hope I scared you enough not to even attempt to directly short a stock. Okay, use inverse ETFs or use options. That's the best way. Okay, bye.